a first disappointing test for Team India in England, and there are lots and lots of rumors how Team India is going to cope up in the absence of Jasprit Bumrah for the second test at Edgbaston against England tomorrow. But before going that, like we would going to talk the cricket which is exactly happening around the world, where Australia won against West Indies, South Africa playing well, and we have seen an young under 19 champion Lhuan-dre Pretorius scoring the fastest 150 for his nation. Along with that, Smriti Mandhana, the only Indian woman player to reach the elite club where to score 100 in all the three format of the game. So that being said, I have three beautiful gentlemen along with me, Selva, Anirudh, and Romin. Okay, so let's first talk about the transition process of what exactly happened of handing over the captaincy to Shubman Gill. Your views and opinions, guys. The floor is open for all of you.
So I would like to start here. What it is means like it was not a right transition. It's a pure young Indian team. Like we are going to shuffle the whole stuff. We don't have any kind of senior players over there. We had only Bumrah, Rishabh Pant, and Siraj. These are the three senior most
KL
players when it comes to test matches. KL Rahul, sorry, yeah, fourth. After that, it's a completely pure youngster team which is coming into only based on IPL contributions, not on the red ball part, which is a very mandatory thing we need to notice. It's not a 20 overs game, it's a 5 day game, 90 overs, where they need to spend every kinds of they need to tide up themselves and adapt themselves to a situation. It's not just like a maturity, mindset, everything should be there. So like once the retirement of Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli happened, that should not be made in those kind of situations. They had to be in this series and the upcoming matches, at least 2 to 3 series, they need to guide Indian team regarding captaincy and how it has to be done and how the change has to be made. A mindset and maturity will be created among the Indian players where the young players will be groomed by that time by gaining some kind of experience. At least if the senior most players are not playing in the field, they will be at least traveling with the teams to guide or to consult with them and make their mindset, this is what going to happen, this is how we're going to pitch going to behave, and this is what the thing we are going to do it. So if these kinds of things has been happened, Shubman Gill would have been praised today, or he would also become a great captain, one of the great captains of Team India. So I thought this part is completely missing. And the next part is uh, the bowling unit part, how it has to be guided, like the experience has to be done. So here also the senior most player kind of things play over here, where to change, how to change, who has to be put in here, who has to be changed. So those kinds of nuances and tricks and tips are missing in the current Indian team, which is a very bad sign for us as well.
I'll go straight up to Anirudh. I mean, do you believe in the transition process? Like it's a part of a process, or like how exactly Shubman Gill will carry this legacy? Because like almost like 1.45 billion people watching at India around the world support the craze. I mean, they support the game as well. And for the first time in the last 1.5 to 2 decades, where we have seen half of the stands is empty, especially at England.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, it was a shock that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli retired immediately like this. I mean, just two bad series, we can say. India lost to New Zealand 3-0 at home, and then they lost the BGT 3-1, and unfortunately, India couldn't make it to the WTC final this time. So maybe because of that, it forced a lot of retirements. But I would say that those retirements can also be a blessing in disguise because. Whenever India was losing, Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli were made as the scapegoats for those losses. Now that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are not there, maybe now people will accept that India is winning as a team, India is losing as a team. And given that this is a young team, I think, of course, we have lost only one match till now. We can still bounce back and we can still start winning. And even in the previous match, if we see the top five batters, they played really well. It is only that the lower order couldn't score more runs. But the top order, if you see, KL Rahul scored a century, Rishabh Pant scored two centuries, Shubman Gill himself scored a century, Yashasvi Jaiswal scored a century. So even after those retirements, I think the players are individually they are performing well, but as a team, like the lower order needs to be strengthened. Bowling also needs some fine tuning. It needs to be modified. So I think these small changes, if India makes, I think it is still a good team actually. So I won't say that. I mean, there is a transition phase, but I think the transition is going on well. Like we need to give it time to see whether Shubman Gill is really he's doing well as a captain.
Okay, I'll come straight up to Romin Bhai, because like now what exactly is going to happen is like if you see there is only one particular test which was won by Gautam Gambhir, and the win percentage has come down as low as to 20% right now on a number of the matches where he has been coached. And like if you ask me, like I also asked this in my previous podcast as well, like understanding a player will be selected based on the way he has performed. Now, the way Gambhir has performed in the test as a coach, do you still feel that this combination of G and G is actually working and can benefit for a longer term, especially for if we consider the current WTC cycle?
First of all, by that Silva has mentioned related to the leadership role and the transition process. I should definitely agree with him that it could have been done in a better manner. Test cricket is not instant game like one day cricket and a T20 game where you Test cricket you need to show some patience. It's a game of skills, whereas in a one day and T20, unlimited skills can still gives you the winning performances. So it's a totally a different ball game. First of all, the experience is a definitely key. One more point where we are lacking. People have so much opinion related to that our batting is not experienced, the bowling is not experienced, but the test match has been won by the leadership groups. We don't have that leadership group available right now. Captain is a someone who is consulted by the leadership group where the people are available who have a better experience in a different situations, and they are going to come to the rescue to the captain. We have seen that particular cycle with the previous teams. Even though the MS was the captain, he had tremendous leadership group with him. When the Kohli is captaining, he has a tremendous group of the people who can leadership group was the someone who is really key maker in the test match series, which is definitely missing, and it is going to cost us a lot, in my opinion. I'm not saying that it will go into cure on a sooner basis. It will go into hamper a lot. Coming back to your question about GG's performance and percentages, I still feel that the coaches and the captain are as good as what teams are. Definitely the key role, how to respond the situation, how to build up the legacy, how to build your mindset up. It's a totally a department of a coach, and coach is a someone who can gives you the result in a better manner. And I still feel that at somewhere GG is missing trick in a test cricket. The result is in front of us, so it is not a wrong thing to say that GG is not giving up our performances what we are expecting from the test cricket. For the test cricket, it will be the total different set of minds, and the team combination what he is choosing is definitely reflects that he need to work a lot in terms of improvement in the test performances. The T20 game, the aggressive mindset, those are the words to discuss, but it is worth about skills. It's a 5 day survival skill. See, we have a greatest example that Team India is dominating for the 3-4 days of the test match. One bad session, you are out of the game. The England is sailing over there, and they are waiting for this. So I feel that GG is does not having that kind of a personality or the kind of a mindset where he can play the patience game. That will be the key, in my opinion. We have seen that baseball. We have seen the baseball now with the minds now. They are playing with the minds. We have seen that great execution of baseball with the mind. And if this are going to continue, you see definitely England in the WTC final. And for us, it's a definitely tough job. And I still feel that GG is not been able to produce the result as per the expectations. Team India's test legacy is something which is a top level. We have done a tremendous kind of a job in a past decade, and it to replicate it, I still feel that he need to go back to the old school mind thought. That you need to go to that through that procedures which going to bring a result. And I still feel that if not, it's not wrong. I will not be wrong if India loses this series, and that will be the GG's future for the Test cricket in jeopardy, in my opinion.
Anirudh, any comments, final comments on this one?
Yeah, actually, like there were talks going on that VVS Lakshman is a better test batter compared to GG. Like Gautam Gambhir has not scored as many runs in test cricket compared to white ball cricket. So maybe GG can continue as a white ball coach, but VVS Lakshman can be appointed as the test coach for India. Because whatever it is, VVS Lakshman has done so many things as a batter in Test cricket in the past. We remember the Calcutta 2001, Adelaide in 2003. He has performed a lot of crucial knocks. He has played some match-winning innings. So maybe he will be the coach, maybe who can train batters like how to handle pressure situations, how to be patient. Maybe the lower order batters he can give some training, and also maybe he can. I mean, I think he can bring that what to say that unity among
Experience.
all the players. Yeah, unity among all the players, and maybe that could have been better. And even I feel like VVS Lakshman could have been a better choice for the coach of India, and particularly in Test matches. Of course, obviously in white ball, Gautam Gambhir has done really well. We have won the Champions Trophy when Gautam Gambhir was there. But for Test matches, I think maybe they should reconsider certain decisions, because not all formats are the same, isn't it? White ball cricket is different, Test cricket is different. So maybe, yeah.
But I
Okay.
think Rajbhai, one more thing is that I don't want to take some specific names. You cannot say that if someone is a good batsman, he can be the good coach. Uh, do you think so that Gary Kruston is having as much as good record what the BB is having? I have still doubt. If does Ravi Shastri is having a record as equal to as what VVS does has, I still have a doubt he has not scored that much of a runs. It's all about we need a person who can change the Test cricket mentality. He can bring the perseverance to the player. It is all about consistency. So taking an individual name, it will be some quite difficult, and that is not our role as well. Now to judge on this matter, but yes, when it comes to the evaluation of the performance of GG, it is a disappointment in a red ball cricket.
No, I want to add one point over it. It's a mindset how we go. So we have seen Gambhir aggression on T20 side, which like he had involved in large amount of fights as well. So
Yes,
that's kind like the same aggression has to be implemented in the Test cricket as well. It's not a 2 hours game or 3 hours game. It's a game for 5 days where we need to keep our mind settled, and this is what we are going to do. And if it is not going in our way, our patience has to be done, and we have to work on our plans, particularly when it comes to Test matches. Our plan should be there. We need to be sticking on to that plan, and there will be some kind of gate opening because he's also a human. A player who is playing opposite also is a human. He can also
yes, yes.
lapse concentration. He can also leave a one poor ball. He can leave concentration. We can see after a break, we can see lots of wickets falling. After a strategic timeout, we can see wickets falling. So the concentration will be broken down over there itself. So where we can able to cash in, like those time we can put two
That's
wickets, 3 wickets can be done.
That is exactly why Test cricket is being played. That is exactly why Test
Yeah,
cricket is meant to play, because it will test your patience. Like after every 2 hours, like if you're sticking onto the ground, legends like Don Bradman, legends like Sir Vivian Richards, Gary Sobers, all these people used to stick onto the wickets like without losing the concentration. I mean, those times, like when you have lethal bowlers also, like you don't have a modern equipment like the way they used to play. Okay, Sunil Gavaskar used to play like all throughout the day. Like he first, like I still remember the way he has played. Like for 60 overs match, like when it was one day cricket, he wasted almost like played for almost like 40 overs and scored only 36 or 37 runs. He hated so much. He hated so much
one
of
thing.
one day cricket. Okay.
One thing I want to add. Right now we are missing Pujara. We used to see him. Whenever the ball travels to the keeper, he used to see the ball, flip cordon till the ball goes to the bowler. Till that he
Exactly.
will be like watching the
That's
ball, like
No, but
how it does.
I think now KL Rahul is doing that role correctly, because even in the previous match we saw how KL Rahul, he showed his patience. He was in no hurry at all. He was rotating the strike, playing defense, doing well left. It was good to when I saw KL Rahul, Pujara came to my mind the previous
Exact.
match.
I
I
can
mean,
exactly.
I'm not denying the fact of Anirudh here. Like he is maintaining that role, but the thing is, like a player's presence. Like, if I'm not wrong, if my memory is not wrong, okay. So after Virat Kohli's retirement as a Test captain, I see both the players not playing more than like two series. Ajinkya Rahane got disappeared. Cheteshwar Pujara got disappeared, just like that.
They
Okay,
both are like Ajinkya Rahane is one of the good captains for first class cricket, Ranji Trophy, Mumbai. He is
that's
leading very well. Like he has
Ajinkya
that kind of
Rahane, I'll
experience.
tell you one stat. Ajinkya Rahane has never lost a test match as Indian captain.
exactly. As a test
Exactly.
player, Ajinkya Rahane also won lots of like what to say domestic tournaments as well, and especially like the Border Gavaskar Trophy in 2020. The main reason why India won is all because of Ajinkya Rahane. He always the journey and the transition what Team India is currently undergoing right now. And let's move on to the men's cricket to the women's cricket, where the Indian women are facing the England women. The first T20I match against it was played in Nottingham. Again, Indian women scored a massive of 210 for 5, where England women could only lost for 113. Great partnership between Smriti Mandhana and Harleen Duyal. They have contributed so beautifully, and apart from Nat Skipper Brent and every single player, even Tammy Benmount, along with Emma Arlott, or only the three players who could able to cross the double figures, and rest all have been a single digit score, and all thanks to Charney, who has picked up 4 wickets just by conceding 12 runs. How and where exactly? I mean, I'm after seeing all these the performances, I'm really feeling so confident and so amazing about the way women's cricket is actually growing. Anirudh, first thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I don't think many would have given India women a chance in the first T20 actually, and that
Hmm.
too particularly Harmanpreet Kaur didn't play the first T20 match because of an injury. But in the absence of Harmanpreet Kaur, for Smriti Mandhana to take that responsibility and score a century, it's a really superb knock from her. But again, only one concern I'm having about India women, they should not be over dependent on Smriti Mandhana and Harmanpreet Kaur to score the runs. Even if Smriti Mandhana gets out for just 10 runs, then also the middle order should take the innings through. I think that is one aspect which we haven't seen yet from India women. But kudos to Smriti Mandhana actually, she scored the century, and even in the middle order, if we see Harleen Deol in the last few months, she has evolved well as a batter. So she's looking like a good number 3 batter for India. Shafali Verma has also come back. So I think this India women's team is looking good, but consistency in performance is needed. But overall, a very good dominating win from India, we can say, the first T20.
Yeah, we are gonna see the second T20I today
Right.
afternoon. I mean, like late midnight, like it's at 11 p.m. So those who guys like stay up and watch this match, trust me, it's gonna be an interesting battle of game between these two teams, especially like when Smriti Mandhana and Nat Kivarprant is also been hungry as ever. She doesn't like to see those tippets, but yeah, this is one such kind of a day where we can see like again women's cricket is evolving so much. So straight up, I just wanted to go to Yesh Taylor. Yesh bhai, first of all, welcome back to Criczenify. It's been a long time that you have been a part of us. And now, talking about the female cricket and talking about the women's cricket, especially in India, the way it's growing, like how exactly and like how BCCI is actually trying to mold women's cricket and trying to bring them the as equal to the men's cricket.
I think the development begins as right from the time when WPL began. That was a big moment for women's cricket in India, especially.
Yeah.
The calls for franchise tournament was started right from the time when India reached the final in 2017 ODI World Cup and failed to get over the line. The right from that moment, it definitely took more time than expected, but definitely in 2023 it was time that WPL finally got underway, and we have seen the effects that WPL has left on women's cricket in terms of the kind of building the bench strength and the pool of players. Today we can see that even in the absence of the likes of Renuka Singh Thakur and Pooja Vastrakar, we are doing well with the kind of talent we are developing in right from the grassroots level. The emergence of the likes of Sri Charani, who made his uh,
Debut.
who made his who made the
Debut.
talent count, and right from her debut game, she showed that she had it in her to play at the big level. And even if you see the collective work our spinners did, the likes of Radha Yadav, Dipti Sharma, and even the pacers in Arundhati Reddy and Amanjot Kaur, the way they bowled as a collective unit was a very bright sign for us moving forward. Even in this year's ODI World Cup as well, and moving forward the T20 World Cup, which is coming next year, which will be hosted by England and Wales around the similar time frame in June July next year. So it is very good signs, and the other initiatives like pay parity and everything else, the support from the training level and the facilities that have grown, that is a big positive, and one of the main reasons why we are becoming stronger and stronger at the international level.
Exactly. So now I'll come to you, Selva. I mean, like, initially the BCCI has actually restricted the men's team not to go and play the outside leagues outside India. And but for women's cricket, it has been a completely different thing. They have given the exposure to play the Indian domestic team members to go and play in the Women's Big Bash League, and they've also allowed the Indian team to go and play Vitality Blast 100 series and all those stuff. So all considering all these things, like the exposure what the Indian players is also getting as similar to the foreign players when they come and play the WPL here. So like how exactly these are going to help and build the players as a player, especially at the international level.
So I want to compare this with IPL.
Okay.
IPL happens, right? So how the foreign player comes to India and they starting to get to know about the conditions, how they play, and what kind of players are we, and how the pitch behaves, kind of things. We can like take it to the World Cup final where Australia won in Ahmedabad. They said we had huge amount of IPL experience with us. So with that experience, we decided how a pitch going to behave, kind of that, and we started to think on that part, and it was very much easy for us to get this World Cup in India because we are trying to do it, but we can't. But right now we did it. So this is what part in India winning a World Cup is difficult. By having subcontinent countries like India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, even though they are small, like they are not on the right peak form, like apart from India, they knows how the subcontinent pitches will behave. But apart from that, a Sena country coming and winning in India, it's completely with IPL experience. I'm comparing the same with the women's part as well. They will be going ahead and they will be like having a good rapport combo with the other country players, and they'll be exposed to overall with all other team members where they will be able to learn more things, adapt more things quickly, and they can also find new stuffs with them. Like when compared to Indian cricket, the other cricketing boards are huge ahead in way of fitness part, technologies, kind of things. Even though we are rich as cricket, but I'm not coming into this part. I'm just touching it and brushing it up, going it. So even though we are not in that like they're not so much rich, but they're having good technology, good fitness part, good plans, good study things, where they are trying to mold cricketers in a good way where they can shine brilliantly. They're trying to fix the problems from the core itself, not just like that pushing it. You come, we will take. No, you come here, we will train, we will try to solve your core problems, and we'll get it into a good shiny position where the whole world can see it. Like that experience will be coming to Indian women's players, where they can implement in India as well, where they can learn more things, guide themselves with huge amount of knowledge. Everything will be a growth for the women's cricket rather than a downfall, I feel. The
Correct.
same implemented like men's cricket also, there will be different kind of approach towards the men's cricket as well. Why? Because if our player is going and playing in BPL or CPL or whatever it is, they will get a idea of how pitch behaves, when pitch behaves, what kind of things they are using right over there, how a player is approached, how a team management is approaching towards a player, what is the mindset of a coach, how a coach like captaincies are done in the T20 part when apart from IPL things. So these kinds of a game is a game, a match is a match. We are playing with Australia, India playing, or Australia, Zimbabwe playing, it's also a match. We can learn from our mistakes. That's what has to be done. That adds more experience over there. So it's a completely a good pack of thing I can see.
Exactly. Now I'll move straight from England directly to the West Indies, where Australia are playing against the home team West Indies. The first innings, when it has happened, Anirudh, what was your thoughts in the first innings and the way Australia have come back in the second innings?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, the way West Indies bowled in the first innings was superb. Actually, Shamar Joseph and Jaden Seals, they bowled superbly, and Australia got all out for 80 actually. But then, Australia got bowled out for 180, and then in reply, West Indies they were struggling, they were 52 for 4 at the end of day one. But after that, they came back and they scored the 190. They got bowled out for 190. So at that time, I thought maybe West Indies have a good chance of winning actually. But then again, in the second innings, if we see the good fight back from Australia, they scored 310 runs. Alex Carey, he scored 65 from 75 balls. Bio Webster, he scored a half century. Even Travis Head also proved that not only headache for India, is a headache for all other teams as well. Even against West Indies also, he scored a half century. But I think a few umpiring decisions were questionable in that match. I thought, in the first innings, also Shai Hope's dismissal, I was not sure. Second innings, also there were a few umpiring decisions which went against West Indies. But that is part and parcel of the game, unfortunately. But still, West Indies, I thought they could have batted well in the second innings instead of getting bundled out for 141. I thought a few of their batters could have taken the responsibility and they could have stayed. Like batters like Brandon King, Kesey Carty, John Campbell, they couldn't contribute much. Even
Correct.
Craig Brathwaite also.
Exactly.
They could have taken more responsibility and they could have batted. Even in the first innings when they were in trouble, it was Shai Hope and Roston Chase. They only brought West Indies back into the match. But in the second innings, even they couldn't contribute. So I feel West Indies bowling is great actually. Shamar Joseph and Jaden Seals are bowling very well. In fact, Jaden Seals picked up a fifer in the first innings. Shamar Joseph picked up 4 wickets in the first innings. In the second innings, if we see, again, Shamar Joseph picked up 5 wickets. So Shamar Joseph against Australia is another love story actually. But if West Indies can bat decently well, if they can put some decent, at least West Indies should score at least 250 to 300. If they can bat
Correct.
well and score 250 to 300, then they have the bowling to win the test match. So I think they should improve their batting to the
Hmm.
next level.
Exactly. And after this, Selva, I'm going to come to you for this particular question. To understand the World Test Championship cycle right now, the Australia are in number one by beating comfortably against the West Indies. But to talk about, as Anirudh mentioned, the love story, what Shamar Joseph, the pace, what he is bowling, even in the last cycle also, they were somewhere lost, could not able to pick the pace of Shamar Joseph. Can we see a new uh, trending fast bowlers where we have seen those likes of Courtney Walsh, Courtney Ambrose, even though he's not having a height, but his pace is actually concerning for him as well, for Australians.
I just love the way they bowl. I want to mention three of them: Seals, Joseph, and Alshari Joseph. So both Joseph. Like we can't judge a player by just playing white ball cricket, right? Test cricket is an
Exactly.
actual game. Like I want to go with Alshari Joseph first. Like the way he bowls, the pace he hits the batsman, it's like like what to say, hell for them. And Shamar Joseph and Seals, I love their bowling actions. Why? Because even though they are not muscular or big kind of guys, the smooth run up action, which is right for every fast bowler, has to follow. The basic of a fast bowler is good. The run up, the movement, the left, like the non bowling arm, the way the wrist works, and the way the follow up works also makes him be a most like destructive bowlers. We saw in Australia, they couldn't able to pick him up, like how he was bowling, like what pace he was bowling. The same way was applicable over here as well. They started to collapse the batting order of Australia. The Australian batting order is the worst batting order right now, like in the past 15 years, if we take. They are not performing that good. They are not having that great batsmen. We have to accept that as well. But we can't deny the way they bowled as well. Like, because of the middle order, they survived the test match. Without, if didn't survive, it would have definitely gone in the West Indies part. So I want to see the old fast bowling West Indies unit coming back. They should not give it just like that, because the West Indies, we have what to say. We need to put it in quotes that they are the good T20 players. T20 players, like the world has branded them. Wherever a T20 match is happening, or a franchise match which is not that much, what to say, recognized, there will be a West Indies group of people who will be playing there. So they're thinking that mindset has to be broken here, and then they have to come back in the Test cricket where they once upon a time there lived the ghost. They used to say, right, in cinema kind of thing. There is a good team which them. They have to groom towards it, and they have to come back in the Test part as well, which will be the most threatening, because now every top nation is seeing a downfall. We have to see. Even Australia will also see a fast bowling unit. They are having good fast bowling unit. But this will be the last WTC cycle where we will see Pat Cummins, Stark, Nathan Lyon, and Josh Hazlewood playing. This will be the last cycle they will be playing. After that, they need to bring good fast bowling unit. They also need to build a team with batting as well as bowling in the Test cricket part. This is the right time for them to go. Because 2 years, if a team is grooming, growing, they will be stronger for the next 1 decade. Next 10 years, that will be a strong time. How India came, they were down there. Virat Kohli stepped in and the team was built up. Fast bowling unit was created, and just like that, the same way West Indies also has to come up. That's what my point over here is. And they have a good fast bowlers, and they are also having a raw talents who are coming up in the fast bowling part. There are more raw talents who are coming. So we have to appreciate them, and we have to get them into this, and it will be a good thing to see.
Exactly. Now, to talk about the Australian batting lineup and in the both the innings, the opener Sam Constas again getting out cheaply for like in a single digit in both the innings, first for three and next for 5 runs, which is totally unacceptable for a player who has come out with a reputation and he has stayed quite some time in the wicket, Yash Bhai. And like and afterwards, Usman Khawaja like also batted well for like 15 runs in the second innings and again like 47 in the first innings. He was one batsman who actually showed the promise for the Australian lineup for some time. And as Selva rightly mentioned, like if you're looking at this particular batting lineup and if they go and play the Ashes, so it will be a difficult task for them, I believe, right?
And
Definitely, the kind of batting unit youngsters they are blending in, like Sam Constas and the others. I think they are building a core group around the likes of Usman Khwaja, and maybe even Manas Labuschagne might be in and around that unit, who needs to guide, groom the youngsters coming in the lineup, and even Travis Head has a role to play in it. And as much as I've heard, the former Australian players are backing the likes of Sam Constas to deliver, because I've heard a statement saying that he'll be back as an opener, and maybe groomed in a role in a role like David Warner played for them. And hopefully he keeps on learning and improves well by the time Ashes comes, and hopefully he must deliver a good series there. But for them at this point, it is important for the management to back the likes of Sam Constas and the other youngsters that are currently in their lineup, and give them the confidence that they belong to this test arena, and then they must give that kind of backing they need at this point. And once they get into the groove and once they understand their template in the red ball format, they will definitely deliver.
I want to add one point over here. See, Australia lost against South Africa. They just went to Zimbabwe. It's kind of a practicing match for them. West Indies for a practicing match. South Africa won. They know their senior team players will be retiring in few years. They also went to Zimbabwe, kind of a practicing match. This is how India also should do. Like just not like just like they're going and participating with the huge big teams. Instead of, they need to groom their youngsters by playing small nations where they will have a capability and they will learn from that and they can.
After this, they're playing against West Indies.
No, like they will be playing against, but how the planning setup is going on, you can see before Ashes, they are planning these kinds of setups and they want to try
Yes,
to
exactly. The
make it
cycle
happen.
was prepared long, long back. And two
Yes,
teams, two nations, like the reputation has already been built up in the world cricket. And nobody, when the schedule was actually prepared in the last year, before this WTC cycle was announced, the schedule was actually announced for the next year, where which teams will be starting the test series. Okay, so at this point of time, like both the teams, like especially both India and England, having such kind of a reputation in the global map, the kind of players what they have already set up the framework, and nobody knew that Virat Kohli's retirement was in place, Rohit Sharma's retirement was in place. But the only thing what we have seen is that like Ashwin is going to retire in the BGT in the midway of the tournament. So that is one thing what we have expected. So now coming out of this particular segment, yes, we totally understand all these things like should happen. But yeah, even though like if you go five down in this particular test series also, somewhere I feel that the next upcoming matches against New Zealand, when we travel them and like when West Indies is going to come at home conditions, it's going to be a great test, not only for Gill, but it's going to be a great test for Gautam Gambhir as a test coach as well.
absolutely.
Okay. So now, with that being said, as you have rightly mentioned, I wanted to go down to the southern part of the globe where South Africa is playing the Zimbabweans. Anirudh, opening thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, like
I
it
want
is
to come to
it
South
is
Africa because as much as you love RCB, as much as you love Team India, you love South Africa so much. So I wanted to start with you for South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa are playing against Zimbabwe. Initially, I thought like South Africa were in trouble actually. In the first innings, South Africa were 55 for 4. And seeing the South African team, none of their main players, none of the players who were, I mean, only
Mhm.
four players from the WTC winning South African team is playing in this test match against Zimbabwe. Vian Mulder, Keshav Maharaj,
Correct.
David Bedingham, and also one more player, Kyle
I'll,
Verreynne.
yeah.
Yeah, only those four players from that WTC winning South African team is playing in this test match. Others are all new players. So I thought maybe there might be an upset, particularly seeing when South Africa were 55 for 4. But then superb young talent actually, Lhuan-dre Pretorius, like outstanding knock from him. And also Corbin Bosch, he also scored a century in the first innings. And from out of nowhere, actually, partnerships kept on building. Even Devalt Brevis, he also scored a half century. Like we all thought that Devalt Brevis will be the next talent of South African T20 cricket, but he showed his worth in Test match cricket also. So definitely, these are all I think positive signs for South Africa's future also. Seeing all these future superstars are performing well for South Africa, like Lhuan-dre Pretorius, Devalt Brevis, Corbin Bosch. So it is a good sign for them. And bowling wise, also, if we see like Cody Yusuf, he also picked up wickets. And of course, Keshav Maharaj is always there. He's also picking up wickets. Vian Mulder is an experienced lad. So, like now, if we see the current position, Zimbabwe are needing 505 runs today to win the match. I think South Africa will bowl out Zimbabwe today and try and win today's match. But I think the kind of team which South Africa has sent to Zimbabwe for this test match, I think it has been a good performance from South Africa actually. Like Vian Mulder also, he scored a century in the second innings. Keshav Maharaj scored a half century with the bat the second innings. So I think these are all some positive signs, and to score 400 and 300 with this batting lineup, I think is a good sign for South Africa.
Exactly. Yes, boy, I'll come to you for this particular question. Like understanding the young under 19 player, he has been first tutored out by Rajasthan Royals in the last Indian Premier League when there was an injury replacement or a substitute player where you can actually have him in your squad. Rajasthan Royals actually roped him up by looking at his bowling talent, I mean batting talent. So, any thoughts on this young lad?
I think it's outstanding the way he played, and if I'm not wrong, even in the SA20, PAL Royals had him in the squad. If I'm not wrong,
Yes.
but definitely the kind of talent they saw in the domestic leagues, it is admirable of them also to give him that opportunity in this series, and the way he has capitalized on it was it was absolutely outstanding. The best part I liked about him was his composure at such a young age. And playing red ball cricket is no joke. Even be it a team like Zimbabwe, they are a strong team. They are a strong team, mind you, in their home conditions. So it was definitely not a cakewalk. The way he scored was absolutely outstanding and very promising signs for South Africa moving forward.
Exactly. Even this under 19 guy, especially when we talk about the SAT20 league, he has played brilliantly and so brilliantly. Why I'm saying this word brilliantly? Because the way he counterattacked Trent Bolt is not an easy task, especially when you're placing, going up against the world-class bowler, and where a bowler coming out with a reputation where he can pick up the wickets whenever you hand over the ball to him. Right? There might be a one off day, but the way he was attacking Trent Bolt, my God. People, those who have followed South Africa T20 League should have been aware what this player was actually capable of doing and the way he has scored the runs for Parallel Royals. That is the same reason why he has also been robbed in by the Rajasthan Royals management in the Indian Premier League last season. Now, this talent is a superhero for South Africa in the upcoming next one decade. Touch wood, there should be no any kind of injuries should happen to this particular lad because his history is not so easy. He has come out with a lot of reputation where his father actually built him a nets in the backyard of his home, wherein he used to bowl. I mean, his father used to bowl to him, saying like, "Okay, you play this ball like this." He has built a nets for him, and the way and he is also having his own YouTube channel wherein he used to like upload each and every single day where the way he used to play, the way he used to bat, the way his father used to support him at each and every single uh, practice when he used to come out to bat. So that's been a dedication when you can actually achieve scoring 163 against a formidable Zimbabwe team in their own conditions is not so easy. No matter what, if you're coming from the same subcontinent as well, just like couple of boundaries like where it has been separated Zimbabwe and South Africa, but the conditions also matters. The conditions also differs like when you're playing in the southern part of the globe. So that's all what we have got, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time tomorrow, we are coming out. Yes.
We
I think
missed
I would like one.
Sean Williamson. He also counterparted a great innings. He's
Yeah,
nearing
Sean
his
Williams.
39.
Yeah,
He's playing 20 years of cricket he is playing. He has to be respected. We didn't speak about them.
yeah,
He is very much good in his batting and he did a brilliant job to get them a good wide total of like he scored 148. So
Sean.
it's very
Yeah,
good.
Sean
And
Williams.
we
Yes.
also have one more bowler like Blessing. I don't know
Blessing
exactly his names.
Muzrabani.
He's
Missing Muzraban.
yes,
He was picked by
yes.
RCB also.
RCBS.
Hey,
Like if you see it
you
was
cannot misspell an RCB player when you have Anirudh in the show.
see here. See here. I'm just missing a logo alone. So he's also bowling brilliantly well. So he's 28 or 27. He's also having a good kind of amount of what to say. Load in him as a fast bowler. We can expect him in more coming days, not in test cricket, but in white ball cricket or white ball leagues all over we can see him. So we
And
must to
people
praise.
might have forgotten the way he has played T20 game against Pakistan, have almost lost when Muzrabani was on strike. Everybody thought Zimbabwe will be beaten, but Blessing Muzrabani, and there was one more player, I forgot his name, especially in the T20 World Cup, which has happened in United States of America.
And one more also, right now they are chasing, but you have to see the temperament. 18 overs, 32 runs, and 1 wicket. So how they are holding the grease, you can see. Like they are very strong in their mindset that okay, we have to whether we are winning or not, we have to stay in here. That's all. Let them take my wicket. I'm not
They
going to give it
have
up. Kind of like
180 overs to chase 400 runs, 480 runs. Okay.
505 runs.
505 runs,
Target is 505. They have already just scored 32 runs. Deduct that
32
32.
runs.
No. Like
No.
target is 537.
Oh,
In
correct.
537, they have scored 32.
Sorry, Pa.
So
Correct.
505 more than needed.
Sorry.
So
Sorry, Anirudh.
so the
But
temperament which
given
they are
that,
showing over there.
but actually during the IPL time, Zimbabwe has beaten Bangladesh in a test match in their own conditions. So I think uh, this Zimbabwe team is also a very, very strong team. And for South Africa to play well against this Zimbabwe team, I think it's kudos to South Africa also.
2025. We can't expect what will happen in sports. Anything, anytime it might happen. So
I
Okay.
think on the South African team point of view, the one point I wanted to add was if you see before the start of the test match, all the limelight was on Pretorius making his test debut. And Lhuan-dre Pretorius was like slightly going under the radar. And the way he performed and the way actually he outperformed, and all the limelight shifted to him being becoming the youngest to score 150 plus score. And that was absolutely outstanding. So defying the spotlight, and no doubt Deval Bravis also had a good innings and he played well, but definitely is a very promising prospect.
Yeah, and Corbin Bosch also, like many people thought that Corbin Bosch should have played in the WTC final itself, but they preferred Ngidi over Corbin Bosch in that final. Of course, South Africa won in the end, so no one is questioning that now. But Corbin Bosch, the way he is batting and he is bowling now, I think he looks really good actually for the future of South African cricket.
And even the likes of Vian Mulder is coming of age, and I think he always had the talent, but definitely he's reaping its rewards now, given the chances are consistent to him.
Exactly. So that's been a cricket worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. That's all what we have got in this particular episode. But don't go anywhere. Like we have actually missed out one particular segment where our under 19 boys scored a massive 400 plus runs against the under 19 of English Lions. Okay, so with all these things being said, cricket is exactly booming at the time where we are seeing the youngsters playing the way the cricket has to be played in a T20 game. But on the other hand, also, we're also seeing a world-class cricket being played across the subcontinents, wherein one in Australia and one in Zimbabwe. So please do follow them as well because the cricket can be understood and learnt in much more beautiful ways. So we at Criczenify, as we have a tagline, we go behind the boundary lines as well to understand what exactly is happening around the globe. So that's all what we have got in this today's episode. Tomorrow we will be coming live for a pre-match show between England and India for the second test matches between both of them. We are going to see lots. I believe a minimum of 3 changes tomorrow for India. Already England have announced their squad. So all these things are in a pipeline. Let's wait and watch and see what Team India's lineup is going to be for tomorrow. So